Sports Snippets, Dennis Sullivan. How the heck you doing, guys? Here on a mid-afternoon on Saturday. It's the 18th of December, and you can almost classify this video as like a mini fantasy football emergency video in a sense, because for many of you, and this video is going to be geared for those of you that are in head-to-head leagues. For many of you, and I'm talking a decent percentage of you, this is the week 15, where you are entering your playoff, your whether it be an 8-team playoff like the league I'm in, or maybe you only have a 4-team playoff, or whatever the heck it is. Maybe you do a bye. I mean, it can vary, but playoffs for the most part start this week and have already begun, actually, with Thursday night's game, as the Kansas City Chiefs have defeated the Chargers, the Los Angeles Chargers, and that was a heck of a game. But before I get started, I got some things to talk about. This isn't just going to be your regular kind of start-sit deal. I'm going to get a little philosophical with you here in this one. So if you do like content and that works for you, and you like the content and all that other stuff, go ahead, hit the thumbs up, and that would be greatly appreciated. Feel free to subscribe to my channel as well, Sports Snippets with Dennis Sullivan. It's been a while since I've done a fantasy football related video, so I'm usually focusing on the Dolphins and what the heck's going on with them, and talking regular NFL and all this other stuff. So let's discuss. Now, first of all, guys, one thing I've picked up on is that due to the way things are right now and the uncertainty of certain players, for the reason we're all aware of, right, where certain guys may not be able to play, right? That's a reality. I think what is happening here, as a matter of fact, I don't think what's happening here, I'm pretty sure I know what's happening here. And that is, there's almost this elevated sense of panic when you watch some of these programs that have to do with starting, sitting, and playing, to the point of I'm hearing things like start your better players if you know they're playing in the early games on Sunday and all this other stuff. Now, of course, we have New England and the Colts tonight. That should be good, kicking off around 8:20 Eastern time Saturday night. And then obviously the largest portion of the games are going to be Sunday. Then you have Monday Night Football. And now Tuesday Night Football, right? Hopefully, I don't even know if that's televised. I'm assuming that will be televised, right? But feel free to comment below on that information. But here's the deal, guys. Before I get into it, and I want to talk a little bit about my roster, my head-to-head league, and who I'm playing, and some of the decisions I had to make, things of that nature. But here's the thing. It really comes down to this. Just be a little bit more attentive as to what's going on. That's all, really. You may want to check if you, and again, you have your lineup. You've managed this team for 14 weeks. Just be a little more attentive. Check the news on your player, right? It's going to have it, regardless of the app or what have you. They all have updates on the player status. Do it again tomorrow morning, and then, of course, do it a third time right before kickoff of the 1 o'clock Eastern games, of the 4:30 Eastern games, or if you live on the West Coast, you're talking, 10 a.m. and like 1:30 in the afternoon. And then, of course, for the Sunday night game and all the other games, you just got to be a little extra attentive, but don't panic. And you want to have a plan B as well. One idea that I'm considering doing is just going ahead today and dropping a player, because in my league, I could pick up anyone prior to kickoff as long as the game hasn't started and I have an active roster spot. Okay, so if a key player all of a sudden can't go, I could just move anyone else in instead of dropping that key player as a last resort, which I wouldn't want to do, right? So you may have two defenses. You may just have an extra player on your roster that you can do without, maybe that second tight end or something along those lines. or if you're one of these guys or girls that has two kickers. I don't know why you would do that, but maybe you do have two kickers. You don't need to tell me if you do. So these are all possibilities, and that's something I'm strongly considering doing, just dropping someone later on today. Why not? I'll make some room on my roster as a backup, someone that I can do without, right? There shouldn't be too many of those, guys. If you're first of all, if you made the playoffs, second of all, this is the 15th week of the season. You shouldn't have too many roster spots where you don't need a player, right? So a couple of things I'm going to throw out at you now. I'm in a 2-quarterback league, meaning we all have to start 2 quarterbacks. Obviously, it's a head-to-head league. I am in the playoffs as a 5th seed, and there's 8 teams that made the playoffs. So obviously, I'm in that 4 versus 5 matchup. I start Stafford every week. Obviously, you got to start him, especially against Seattle, playing Tuesday at 7. All right, his game got pushed back. Now, here's something interesting. Now I'm going to get into a couple of just regular player type of throw a few ideas at you here based on my own roster, and this may help you. And even if you're in daily contests, this may help you as well. There's a guy that's very intriguing to me, Davis Mills for Houston, the Houston Texans, threw for over 300 yards last week. As a matter of fact, he has thrown for 300 yards, guys. Let me just double check on this one. He's thrown for 312, his last 4 games, 312, 243, 135, and 310. So we have 2 300-yard games for him. He's at about 8 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Nothing spectacular there. But I will say this, guys, he gets a good matchup this week. As a matter of fact, he's playing at Jacksonville against the Jaguars. I'm considering starting him as my number 2 quarterback. I will say that with some confidence. Joe Burrow, now you may disagree. Joe Burrow is a heck of a player, but there's some issues there. He doesn't quite get the protection. One thing you need to worry about if you're starting Joe Burrow is negative plays, especially in my league where you lose 2 points for if the quarterback gets sacked, if he fumbles, you lose 2 points, and loses the fumble, you lose 2 points, any turnover, any interception. Burrow has been hurried, and yes, he has been sacked a fair amount of times. So negative plays, sure, he has a good chance to throw for 300 yards. I mean, if I do advance to the final 4 teams, I probably will start Burrow. I don't think this is the week as he matches up with the Broncos away in Denver. Denver needs the game. There's a few red flags there, guys. I'm sorry. There's a couple of red flags. I may go Davis. I'm jumping on the... I don't even know is there a Davis Mills bandwagon? Should I start my own Davis Mills bandwagon? But I might go in that direction. Some other guys to throw out at you. I like Darnell Mooney, although he's a bit of a risk, more of a boom or bust kind of guy. See him lining up a lot. He's getting a lot of snaps. He gets a good matchup on Monday night at home against the Minnesota Vikings. The only precaution here is he put up some good numbers with Andy Dalton as quarterback. The only problem is Andy Dalton isn't going to be the quarterback. Justin Fields will be the quarterback. So I don't have full confidence that Darnell Mooney's connecting as well with Fields as he did with, especially on Thanksgiving, Andy Dalton, where he went way over 100 yards receiving. But guys, nonetheless, I am going to take a chance on Mooney. And another guy I like at wide receiver is Russell Gage for the Atlanta Falcons. Those are a couple of sleepers for you. I'm big on Dillon as far as a running back, on A.J. Dillon. Not sure if I'm too crazy about his matchup, though, in Baltimore. I would say I'm more positive A.J. Dillon this week than I would be negative, but I am very cautious this week with A.J. Dillon. a guy where if you just need some points, that seems like more of a safer bet. Not to explode and get a ton of points, but safe points. Devonta Freeman, while we're on the Baltimore Raven topic, this starting running back for the Ravens, he got 18 touches against the Browns last week. Give him a look. And then the others are more the obvious. I am getting a little bit, shall we say, shy starting Leonard Fournette this weekend. Yes, he's on a big roll, but he's questionable with the ankle right now. But now they're saying he is good to go versus New Orleans. Guys, the Saints, though, have a good run defense. So it looks like Fournette good to go. But you're going up against the Saints, who are something like they are like a top 5 defense against fantasy running backs, as I understand it. So that's a question mark, guys. Do your research there on Fournette if you think that's the right matchup, or does he just keep rolling? He might keep rolling. So on this video, guys, I'm going to tell you the Fournette start is more of a coin flip. And that's basically it for now. I picked up a guy that was interesting. Not sure if I'm probably not going to start him, but St. Brown, wide receiver, Detroit Lions. He is definitely getting the targets. Let me just go with some stats here. His last 2 games, he's gotten 12. He's been targeted 12 times each of his last 2 games. Last week he went 8 catches, 73 yards. The week before he was 10 catches, 86 yards. Guys, as I make this video, I am now more tempted than ever to start St. Brown for the Detroit Lions. Guys, I might start him, so I am undecided right now. Let me know what you should do there. You tell me. I will be starting the Dolphin defense at home against the Jets. My kicker I've stuck with all season is Brandon McManus in the thin air, probably the icy cold air of Denver, Colorado up against Cincinnati. But I like McManus as my kicker. Let me know what you think, guys. Whatever you do, don't panic, all right? And you may not, and if you made it this far in my video, I'm very happy that you did. But probably a good idea to just stay away. Watch the game tonight if you want. That's a good game. Patriots-Colts, a great game. Very entertaining, whether you have fantasy players going in that game or not. But whatever you do, just keep tabs on it. Don't overthink it. I've been guilty of that myself. Overthinking the situation. I might be doing that with Mills a little bit, but I just don't like the Burrow matchup, guys. I just don't like it. For this week, I will start Burrow next week in all likelihood if I advance. So maybe what we'll do is we'll pick up this conversation next Saturday. This is Dennis Sullivan saying, I will see you. Oh, yes, you. Next time, my TV's over this way, so I need my remote. I'm going to go find my remote. It's nowhere here right now. I think I left it over on the other side of the room. And we're going to go see what's on TV. We're going to go check out some football this weekend. Bye for now.